All right, guys. Hey, thanks for joining me today. So, if I haven't proved that I'm weird enough already, we're going to seed alfalfa with the strip till cart. We're not going to strip till into alfalfa. We're going to seed with the strip till. And so I've read about soil scientists and even some of the farmers out in North Dakota, they were bio-stripping. And I find that the theory behind it is rather interesting, and some of the reports are coming out is that in that strip, so you put your cover crop in like you're banning fertilizer, and so on our strip till berm is their bio strip is testing higher fertility levels than the soil in between the strips. And some of the guys have gotten the practice of cover crops down good enough to a science that they're selecting species that do a good job of warming and drying their soil in the springtime for them. And so I found that really, really interesting. So we've got an alfalfa, clover, so I think oats are in it, or small grain or something, but we'll look at the seed tag when we get up here to the pickup, and we'll fill up the old, we'll put all the seed in the hopper there, and then we got to take some hoses off, and I'll show you that, but we got a little bit of work to do before we get going. But yeah, I'm kind of excited. It'd be kind of interesting to do strip till. It'd be kind of nice to see behind the small grains, is the strip till going to work in the spring? Because if so, that gives us time now, in the future, behind small grains, that's when we can take care of some ditching problems and drainage issues and get our strip till done. But if this cover cropping kind of works with the strip till, so the theory is that the alfalfa and the other legumes between this fall and growing next spring is that we get some growth, whether it's 20% of our nitrogen credit or 80% of our nitrogen credit. That number is to be determined each year. It's always different, but I don't know. I think there's a lot of good potential here if we can figure this out. If nothing else, the worst case scenario is it doesn't work out, and our strip till is done for next year. We're doing the strip till anyhow. And so, yeah, we'll give it a try. So here's what our blend looks like. Excuse, I had a hiccup, that's kind of funny. And what we got is Italian ryegrass, hairy vetch, crimson clover, berseem clover, affixation and balanza clover, and just a touch of bird's foot trefoil. And so I got my weight here. We'll run this up in. You don't keep this kind of figure by carrying bags up the ladder. This is all the stuff I found this year with the strip till bar out in the fields. I asked the landlord if he wants any of it back, and so far he said no, but I got to get my air, this is the air tube, I got to get him hooked up yet. Then I'm going to take this hose clamp off and just bungee cord the diffuser, zoom out, bungee cord the diffuser to the shank. So then we're just going to be blowing the seed somewhere in this churning soil here, and hope that it works. I can't see, everything is a hard seed plant, so it will work. All right, so there's always a little bit of stuff that sits in your tube, so we just run that back out. And it's just seed. I'll kick it around, and I'm very happy that the last stuff I'm running through is seed and not fertilizer. And I like the fact that whenever you spill seed on the ground, you never see a big old burn spot in the field like you do with fertilizer. And so nature's fertilizer seems to be a lot better in tune with nature. All right, so we'll do something like that. This is a blow-off valve. So if your fertilizer tube plugs here, it doesn't just backfeed and ruin the whole system. It just starts blowing your fertilizer out here. So I could have also figured out how to, you know, put a paper towel in each hose and put this back, and then it would have been blowing the seed out here somewhere. Tomato, maybe one way is better than the other. That's why we do stuff to learn stuff. Found one more item while cleaning shanks to add to my collection. Well, let's turn the blower on and make sure everything works, and we'll go from there. And we're off. Rock. That's another bonus to only tilling one little spot, is we're not bringing up a whole lot of rock. It's chunky. I don't have conditioners on the back side. It's a little chunky, but that's all right. By springtime, I'll be all melted in and no big deal. Mud hole. It'll be interesting to see in that wet spot if that allows some of that water to get out of there better or not. Some of the hoses all moved around. I have no idea where the seed is going or what it's doing. We're gonna find out. Working pretty nice though. You're just gonna have to trust me on this. There's a red seed. There's a little seed. There's a couple seeds. So they're here. There's a couple seeds and there's a big seed. So it's kind of working. It's kind of working. I might be tempted to tip my 3-point back just a whisker. I don't know. I wonder how we just come up here, and if we smooth that off, and get down there. We're only running about 4 or 5 inches right now, so I wouldn't mind if a guy tips that back a whisker, and that will sink that back end down pretty quick. And so yeah, I might turn that down just a little bit, and then we'll get back to work. I think that looks kind of pretty. That looks really nice. Some nice black strips. Oh yeah. I'm gonna go through the waterways up here because we no longer need a designated waterway, and when they were full tillage up to the waterway, they now have an erosion strip on each side of the waterway, so the water doesn't even go to the waterway. The neighbor back in the woods here, they got a dozer and a construction company, and I'm trying to talk the landlord into letting them guys come over with the dozer and kind of re-clean the area, you know, the valley or the ditch that the water ran in, touch them up, and then out by the road, clean it up by the road so the water can actually get out of here. Otherwise it's just kind of ponds. There's so much land around here that the water just sits. There's nowhere for it to go. But we'll have to take a look at the soybean field is right over here that we strip tilled, and I was talking about how the strip till gets through this layer of sod and works, because I tilled through the draws like this there, and it is a perfect stand of beans. Perfect stand of beans. So I'm feeling better every day about the future. We've had a hard number of years trying to figure out how to get away from corporate ag and the factory farming type mentality, and trying to figure out how to feed all the people that just drive up and down this interstate. They all need to buy meat, and I need to sell meat. And we're going to keep working on how to try to figure that out. We just need another COVID pandemic. But yeah, that's enough yip yap. I got headland management on, so the blue line is the headland, so it automatically shuts off. So swath control will shut the cart off when they're turned back on, and so then also it draws me that straight line so I know where to lift up and set down. And kind of a handy, if I put my hand there, maybe it you know, there you go, kind of a handy tool to have. And then just shut swath control off because that's part of the headland out here. Just shut swath control off and out there and do that as well. It works out pretty good. The big thing is it saves a guy from having to turn, remember to turn the unit on and off at every turnaround, and I don't want to strip till the headlands first and run it all down. So that's that. Well, there we go. It's all done. That turned out pretty nice. I like it. I hope this turns out, and I'm excited to see by next spring some green strips. That'll be kind of fun. With the Lexion Combine, you don't get a whole lot of green flash behind the small grains, but oh well. I was hoping for something. It would have been nice to, maybe a guy should have set it to throw a bushel out the back just for a cheap cover crop. But all right, guys, let's get this home. We got more work to do.